Okay, so one of the main reasons you're struggling to generate any speed in your golf swing, it's because as you're coming into the golf ball, you're accelerating your shoulders in turn rather than accelerating your shoulders in tilt. See, when the shoulders are tilting rather than turning, the body is decelerating. And that decelerating is extremely important because it's what allows the hands and arms and ultimately the club to accelerate. And from all the testing that we've done and all the data that we've looked at, as you're approaching the golf ball, the best players and the players that hit the ball the furthest, their body is moving the slowest and their hands and arms and the club are moving the fastest. So step number one, what we've got to do is we've got to build a wall, okay? And by building this wall, we're making it almost impossible for the trail shoulder to work over and really get that club pitching kind of outside the target line and then club working back into our body. See, when we build this wall, which is really going to be built by getting two things, by getting your lead thumb on the top trail side of the grip and the lead elbow pointing at or slightly right of your intended target. And then from there, we're going to feel like the trail arm just pins right underneath the lead. So at this point right here, the lead shoulder is feeling like from this position, it's shrugged. So it's slightly higher than the trail shoulder. We're not going to be like super tilted or anything, but just that little shrug is kind of getting your eye line, looking more at the inside part of the ball and just making it a lot easier for you to feel as you're coming down into the ball, like this shoulder is higher than this shoulder. Okay, get our nice strong grip. So right here, I mean, I'm feeling like it's just like a wall right here. Like my perception to the target is almost like turned off. I just feel like I'm looking at that inside part of that ball, basically just trying to keep this here and just go boom up to the top. Really feeling like I'm turning my trail side of my body behind me and then just whip it right down. But see, when I'm feeling that wall feeling, my body is decelerating. See, and then that just catapults that club head down and away from my body. See, what I'm seeing in all my lessons with students that are really struggling creating any distance, lead arm under, trail arm on top, the opposite. So now they're breaking that wall, which is enabling them for that trail shoulder to work over, club to get outside the target line, and then really aggressive with the chest facing the target, eye line looking too far forward, not staying back enough. So we just need to block off our perception of where the target is. And that's why I love the idea of just building this wall here. Probably seen people do this drill before, where they'll take the lead hand. I do this all the time with my students. Just place it right here, get the shoulder shrugged a little bit, get my eyes even kind of looking just at that inner quadrant of the ball. Now I'm just gonna take this ball, get it to the top, nice serving the platter position, and then just throw it right down to where the inner quadrant would be and where that ball would be. Once you feel that, you really feel like the shoulders are bracing. And that brace is so important because that's what's going to allow the catapult to happen, right? I used that analogy in the last video to where I said, imagine your hands are dry and you go up to the top of your backswing and you dunk your hands in a bucket of water. Now, the hands are wet. Now, the only way you can dry your hands off is to flick that water off your fingers, right? If you're turning your body and accelerating your body in turn, that water is not going to flick off your fingers. And how well that water is flicking off your fingers really is determining how fast the club is moving as you're approaching the ball. So if I'm up here and I brace, keep that lead shoulder here, allow that trail shoulder to work under, now I can just, as long as my eyes are looking in the proper spot at that inner quadrant of the ball, I can really get that water flicking off those fingers, and they might even be dry by the time I get to the ball, that's when the club's moving its fastest. And that's what I really want you to understand. The slowest golfers get up here to the top, dunk their fingers in the water. Now their hands are wet, and then they just turn. Everything's turning. They're accelerating their body and turn. They get to the ball, their hands are soaking wet still. And if their hands are soaking wet, the club's moving at a really slow rate. So that's such a great visual. It's like my club's trying to go this way and I'm trying to go this way. And that's where all the speed's at in the golf swing. Okay, there's even a good drill we can do. It's called the recoil speed. I do this with a lot of my students too, to where I'll have them just do little half swings and they'll get to their kind of 3 o'clock position in the follow through, and then they'll recoil back to their backswing position. So it looks like this in the practice swing. Build our wall, eyes looking at the inside part of the ball. Now go. And recoil it right back to that top of the backswing. So when we're thinking about the recoiling, what we're doing is we're bracing. And we're allowing the arms to pass the body and then getting right back to where we were at the top of the backswing. So it's a great way to really understand how the hands and arms are accelerating past the body, which is getting that club head to do the same thing. So here we go, here's a little recoil speed. So again, I'm here. Now I'm just basically holding my shoulders right where they are, snapping that club down, and then keeping my shoulders right where they were. Boom, just like that. And there's so much speed and there's so much energy being transferred into that inner quadrant of the ball, going in the proper direction. This is the easiest way to create speed in your golf swing. Build that wall, accelerate your shoulders, and tilt rather than turn. If you do that, the hands and arms and the club will be moving their fastest, and the body will be moving its slowest at the point of impact. Start with some small swings, work your way up. I guarantee this is going to help you a ton. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, share this with anybody that needs more distance and to understand how to accelerate the hands and arms and in the body properly in the golf swing. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.